La baby. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? TTE Talks, episode 15. Man, we 15 episodes in.
15.
That's crazy. Every week we hear. Every week. 15 episodes.
Oh, consistency.
Consistency. I was gonna start with a song today again, but whatever. What's that with the Mulan? The Mulan song that Vito posted the other day. We out here, y'all. It shouldn't be too long of an episode today, but you never know. Sometimes conversation breaks out, and we end up just talking about everything and anything. Last week, week 2 of the NFL season, we covered the week 1 games. Last week, we had our first session of the podium. Ooh, I lagged. You like those stickers? We had the first session of the podium given by Vita. Week 2 is going to be this week. We got another podium session. Something that's been passionately burning for me. I'm gonna take the podium next week, and then we'll see if somebody got a passionate subject that they want to tap into next week. But I'm here. I'm Soy. Below me is Pale. To my right is Vita. And then to my diagonal, is that the good reference? Is that the right reference? We got the Deuce, one and only Deuce. The diagonal. Oh Lord. Hey, I'm gonna get flamed for being a 5 on this podcast. That's tough. We gonna start it off, man. Hook us up, Polly, with this or that. Open this up, man.
First one. Own a car with a horn that plays YMCA every time you touch it, or own a car with your kid's favorite cartoon painted on the outside of your whole car.
I gotta go YMCA, man.
Every time you touch it, YMCA.
Oh.
I'm gonna do the paint job.
It just you trust your kids?
I'm gonna go watch it because I don't honk my horn that much. But just like let's just say like you're single, right? And you know what I'm saying? You're like, hey baby girl, I know you hear me. Hey, but young man, are you listening to me? Like, young man, are you? Yeah, that don't. Never mind, girl. I'll let you later. Watch out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the paint job, because you can flex like like we used to be in high school with the like the kid backpack shows and stuff like that. It's the same
Oh
same
man.
principle.
I'm getting the YMCA horn too. Get that
Oh.
thing.
I had to do the horn, bro.
Hey, his favorite, my son's favorite cartoon right now is Spider-Man. So I'm about to go with the Spider-Man paint. Serena,
Hey, that's Liddy.
I'm gonna have Miles Morales on that mug, and they even if it's
hard.
Hey, oh man, my mind's going everywhere with this. Like, just imagine you're getting in a car wreck. You're like, young man, are you? You're getting in a car wreck. You're honking the horn. Like, look, so it's in Utah, so he probably deals with black ice. And imagine the car hiding and you honking the horn. And why is like? He's like, whoa, I'm about to die. I gotta have a horn, bro.
Serena going with the YMC horn too. So
hey,
I'm about to be crashing with the YMCA bumping.
Can you be dead?
What's even worse is like, what if you
get into the horn will still be playing in the song?
That's what I'm saying. That's even worse. Like you get stuck in your horns just blaring. This is like
young man.
Nah. I can't support that. I can't support that.
Hey, have mercy on the police taking the report. It's just seeing that they can't move your body. Taking a police report, bro. Like, oh wow.
She said someone will find me faster. Hey, imagine when the police pull up, the fire truck pulls up, and the ambulance pulled up. You just got 3 of them just sitting there like, really?
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, that'd be common. I don't know how you could be.
Nah, couldn't do it.
All right. Next one. Be born with an elephant trunk or a giraffe neck.
For Deuce, no, Deuce, no.
This is like
Elephant trunk or a giraffe neck?
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
elephant trunk. I'm gonna go elephant trunk. Because I
I
don't
think I
want no
might
giraffe.
go elephant trunk too.
I'll go
Think about
giraffe.
how vulnerable. Think
I,
about how vulnerable you
You
are,
go
bro.
giraffe neck, you bobblehead everywhere you go.
Yeah, but then I can see over crowds.
I'm a bobblehead.
But that's just because
You
you're
see how
short.
my head is now, bro? Like I'm already like
Nah, nah. Like think about it. Have you ever been like karate chopped in the throat? You know what I'm saying? Like now you got the target zone, the hitbox is way higher. I gotta go with that.
Hell no.
Hey.
Gotta go with the trunk.
You should the hitbox is way high.
Hey, imagine getting home trying to kiss your wife. Talking about
Oh hell
You
no.
know how plays you trying to do a gold chain combo with a long neck? You taking your picture,
Hell no.
long neck chain combo like Black Power Ranger.
imagine,
No.
imagine trying to put your shirt on and you put your arms in first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Still go with the giraffe turtleneck, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with the
Hell
giraffe
no.
neck. Serena said elephant trunk. She out here trying to slap people with the elephant trunk.
Yeah, I'm going elephant trunk. You can breathe on the water too.
Multi-purpose.
Yeah. You gotta find its
See,
purpose, man. You
with the
can pick
giraffe
up
neck,
food with it too,
with the
man. Come
giraffe
on
neck,
now.
you can't duck headshots. Giraffe neck, you can't duck headshots.
You can't duck it. You can't duck it.
Like,
Hey, you got a bigger hitbox with an elephant nose than we do with a giraffe neck.
Yeah.
nah,
We out here swerving like this.
you can't even like, bro. You can't even go through the drive-throughs at like restaurants, fast food restaurants. Like, gotta be out the way.
Hell no. Everything's getting
I can
Uber
just say
Eats.
He said everything Uber Eats.
Giraffe neck, I need to see. See, we got a giraffe neck too with us. Giraffe neck.
Yeah,
Tough.
All right. Be allergic to sunlight or your own sweat.
sunlight,
Ooh.
sunlight,
It's just sunlight. She's like, I sweat a lot.
sunlight. I swear too easy.
Yeah,
He says,
I'm fat. I'm sweating just thinking about the question. So I probably just gotta go with sunlight, man. I'm
Yeah, I can go nocturnal. That's fine.
about to be Twilight in here. Which one you going with,
yeah,
Vita?
I sweat too much.
I said sunlight.
Yeah, no, I sweat too much.
All right. Create history or delete it.
Say it one more time.
What does create history mean?
What do you mean by that?
Right?
What do you mean by that?
Sunlight, I
What do you
guess.
mean by that? You know,
That's
create
okay.
history. I don't know.
Create history or delete it? Is this like an episode of Loki?
So like, so I want to like create history, like LeBron created history by coming back 3-1 in the finals.
Oh, okay.
Or you can just delete it. I'd rather delete that little session.
Ooh.
Create it or delete it.
In the sports sense, yeah, I'll delete Super Bowl 50 real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let's be 50, baby. Yeah, that go real quick.
In the
Ooh.
sports sense, I'm deleting that 3-1 deficit.
In
But
the
so if I create it,
that, you know, I would delete Super Bowl 50. In the basketball sense, and I'm gonna delete the Kobe trade.
That's a fact.
Ain't even mad at that. Ain't even mad at that. Ain't even mad at that. I guess I'm gonna go with delete because I'm gonna delete David Stern vetoing that trade, bringing Chris Paul to the Lakers. Man, that man should have 4 rings right now.
Okay, so going over analytical ish in history, right? If you don't know history, you repeat it, right? They always say that if you don't know history, you better repeat it. So I would be fearful on what I deleted because it's just an endless cycle. Like we're always going through something. So I'd be like, man, do I like initially I'd be like, yeah, I would delete slavery or I would delete Hitler. But like those things are still existing in history books and we don't care about them. Like people don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like it'll be tough to be like, what would you pick and choose to delete?
Oh,
Uh,
that's true. Serena said the
I
same
go
thing.
create.
She said create because if we delete moments, we'll never learn. Ooh.
I go create just because I could bet on stuff and then just make my money off of it.
Hot tub
Create.
time machine. Hot tub time
You know what
machine.
I'm saying? Like
Hot
this
tub
about to
time.
happen.
Ooh. Yeah, maybe I gotta go with create then.
Yeah, I'll go create. It's less of a burden.
Create something where Melo ends up coming to the Lakers.
Man, that'd be it's ridiculous. It's just like, again, it's overdoing it. Creating something memorable for one person always is something bad for another person.
That's true. That's true.
That's not my problem.
I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy. LaMelo and the Lakers and Vita gonna be over there. Man, F the Lakers. F the NBA.
They said it, man. The winner gets to write history, but there's always a loser in the background pissed off, bro.
That's
The
true.
winner
Peyton Manning got the legendary send off while all the Panther fans are like,
man.
this is bull.
Hey, just imagine like Hitler when he got up to wherever he went in the afterlife, and somebody looked at him like, "Hey, man, you almost pulled it off, bro." You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, you almost did it. Like, I thought I was close. You got real close to seeing what you wanted. I thought I was close.
That's tough.
This was stupid.
That's tough. You
Like,
almost did it, bud.
because he had devout followers. So there's people who are like, we blew the lead. You know what I'm saying? Like, we blew it. You know
We were up
like,
3-1.
we were up. Like Hitler was like, we were up and we blew it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
We were up 24-3 and we blew the lead.
Man,
history has some soiled moments too, bro. Like
All I want to say is 2-time world
gunshots.
champs, baby.
You said world champ.
That's
2-time world
tough.
champs, baby.
People can't expect America to take that final L, baby. Like the world's gonna what are they gonna do when America takes that L?
That's gonna be the biggest celebration ever. Finally.
2-time world champs. Them boys
right.
trying to look forward
Next.
for a repeat.
Relive the same day repeatedly for a year or lose a year of your life.
Yeah, you pretty much doing the
You
same
get
thing.
to choose.
So regardless of what happens in that one day, you're gonna live it again?
Gonna live it again over and over.
Oh, that's
Can
what I'm
you
doing.
do different things in that one day?
Speaking of that, there's a video game called 12 Minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna just be the same thing. You're gonna do the same thing the next day.
Oh yeah, I looked at that video when you posted it.
Hey, yeah, there's a video game called 12 Minutes where you're supposed to solve like a murder or something, and you keep having to redo the scene, but there's different endings. Like, I don't know.
Lose a year of your life. Imagine how much happens in 1 year.
A lot. I'll lose a year. I don't got time, bro. I don't got time to be just doing the same stuff over and over again.
So like after like a month, if I did the repeat a day, like after like a month, I know for a fact I would have exhausted all of the avenues, and I probably just because like if I was conscious about it, I'd be like, I'm gonna sleep the next month. Like I'm just cool. Like we don't. I'm gonna just sleep the next month. Like we done did everything.
That's true. You can only go
Yeah,
so far in what, the 16 hours you're awake.
Yeah.
yeah. I'll just
Lose.
lose a year and keep it trucking.
Well, they say lose a year. We already did that in a pandemic.
That's a fact. Yeah, I'm losing a year.
We did both of them at the same time. We lived the same damn thing every day.
Mhm.
Man.
Well, I didn't. I was doing some
Shit,
wild
if you're like 20 years old, you lose a year, you're 21.
There is that.
Ain't nobody got time to repeat in the same day. Yeah, Serena said she losing a year too.
Yeah. Because, like, what if it's just not a good day?
Hey, y'all ever seen that short on Netflix about that black dude that lives the same day over and over and over again just to be killed by
And
the
then,
cop?
and then at the end, the cop was like, "No, yeah, I'm with it." He's like, "This is fun for me."
Yeah,
Like,
What?
bro,
yeah, bro.
it's wild.
The cop was like, "Oh no, I'm enjoying this. I get to kill you every day. I am okay with
What?
this."
Yeah. Yeah, that joint was
That's
wild.
tough.
I was like, "Damn, that's crazy."
That one was
That was the biggest
crazy.
plot twist ever. Biggest plot twist ever.
Yeah, he like took him home, heard his sob story. And he said, "Psych, boop boop boop."
Fire.
I was like, "Damn."
He was like, "So we're doing this again?" He's like, "Yeah."
He's like,
The
and
boy
we'll,
bought
and we'll
into
do
it.
it tomorrow and the next day and the next
He's
day.
like, "See you tomorrow." Wow. Like,
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Last one. More successful, AI with Embiid or Harden with Hakeem?
Ooh.
I'm gonna go AI.
Oh, I gotta go harder with a king. And I cringe at
Yeah, I'm gonna
saying
go AI.
that, but damn.
I
AI
mean,
and Embiid.
thing I literally thought about was like, whose air would they play in? You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, that's
Is
a
it
good question.
like if Embiid's going back? I say no because he still has to run in the three-peat Lakers, and nobody's beating three-peat Lakers. So like I think we're all pretty set on that. Like, yeah, you can send Embiid back to play with AI, but I know Colin says all the time he's the closest thing to Shaq we got. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you bring AI up, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You bring AI today, yeah, I think that'd be cool. But then if I like put it like this, if we send Harden and AI back, I don't think it matters. If you bring both of them up, then yeah, I think they're contenders. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't say win it though.
Ooh. So would you say AI and Embiid would be better in this era than Harden and Hakeem?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a good point, depending on what era they're in, because they do still got to run into the Lakers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I think you take either one of them and push them back. I just don't think it. I don't think it changes anything. So
Yeah, I think with that being kind of the subject, I probably got to go AI and Embiid. Because I mean, we could say what if Hakeem's game evolved. We don't know if it would.
Mm-hmm.
We know what Embiid is gonna do. We know
yeah,
what AI could do. AI got beat up in that whole era, and nowadays that's an ejection. The way he got
yeah.
fouled. So, damn.
He gonna be saucy out there.
Uh,
Everybody like, "Oh, Kyrie got the best handles."
Yeah.
Okay.
that's crazy.
AI
Damn,
in
that's a good
today's
question.
While we right there, just on that thought, Paula, is that the end of this or that?
Yeah, that's the end of this or that.
Is Ben gonna actually get traded before the season?
No. I think they spitefully keep him until
He's gonna
before
just keep
yeah. I think they keep him until before the All-Star break.
lines. Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna let. So Nick Wright had a real good take on it this morning, and I wanted to bring it to y'all. He said this is the worst time to trade anybody because we're so close to the season, everybody thinks they have their roster in place.
Yep.
Like a month ago, you could have made the move. You can't make the move now. But he was like, let's say you get into the year and Portland's 2-7 to start the year.
Ooh.
A team goes into panic mode real quick. You know what I'm saying? Or
Especially with a new coach.
Yeah, especially with a new coach. A team goes into panic mode, or let's say you come out in the beginning of the year and Kyrie takes an injury, you know what I'm saying, and finds himself out. And then you're just like, yo, we gotta like, okay, bet when Kyrie gets healthy, if that's close to playoff time, like send him. Like you gotta send him, you know what I'm saying? Like get him out of here. So I actually like him hearing put it that way. I was with y'all on All-Star break. I think we was all All-Star break. He's gone. Now let me see what contender has a bad record in the first 10 games.
That's true.
Now I'm like, if there's a contender who in the first 10, so I look in the East and I'm like, okay, who can he go to in the East that has the ability to give up something and to bring him on and remain a contender? Pretty much pair him with somebody. And I was just kind of like, man, I really don't know who. Like one of the first places I thought would be interesting was Atlanta.
Atlanta,
like,
yeah.
Like would Atlanta give up a John Collins and replace?
They've been actively trying to trade him the last few years, and then he got successful in the playoffs, and they were like, "Why did we want to trade you again?"
Yeah. Again, y'all know I'm still on Kings train.
The Kings, yeah.
I'm off the San Antonio train because I think that they're just gonna blow it this year. So, but I like either. The bottom line is, I just think we'll in games if there's a contender who started off slow and they hit an early panic button. I think Ben will be gone, but I don't think he's gonna actually play.
Yeah, I think the Kings continue to stand out to me, just because like you broke it down perfect. They got what's his name, Mitchell over there.
Yeah, true.
They got Fox and they got Halliburton. Fox is the odd man out. There's no way you keep Fox over there. I think there was like a 3-team trade that they looked at. The 76ers. I think it was the Magic and the Kings.
Yeah, I was about to say that the Magic could be contenders for Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I don't think he goes to a contender. I think he goes to a rebuilding team that's gonna be his, where they can bring a valuable piece back over, but they're gonna lose like a Tyrese Maxey. They're probably gonna lose a pick in the trade, like a 2nd-round pick. But I think in order to bring a De'Aaron Fox over,
say like T-Wolves could be a good spot for him. D-Lo and
I actually that was the next option. Is since they fired their president of basketball operations, and all the players are like, bro, what?
Yeah.
D'Lo, I could see being a part of that trade. D'Lo for Ben with the Wolves, T-Wolves adding like a pick, bringing Ben over like a pick swap.
Yeah,
and then figuring out a trade partner for Cat and get Cat out of there. And I think this is where Cat ends up with the Golden State Warriors.
Cat gotta go, bro. I don't know. Like I'm kind of done on Cat. I am. I'm done on Cat. You know what I'm saying? Cat and D'Lo been together for like a good couple years, bro, and they still
like 2-3 years.
They ain't made it. So like I'm really out on. I'm out on them.
Yeah, I think this is where Cat ends up either with a Golden State or he finds a way to fall into Greg Popovich's lap.
There was a quote unquote rumors, again, don't know how true it is, but that they think Michael Porter Jr. is becoming too big to stay with Murray and Yoke. And they was like, Denver's too committed to Murray, even though they should get rid of Murray and Porter Jr. But they think that Porter Jr. for a Ben Simmons trade could be a thing too.
Ooh, bro, that would make the 76ers nasty.
I like that trade because Porter is kind of like a KD type of player.
Yeah, they just committed a lot of money to Aaron Gordon too. They re-signed him for an extension, which blows my mind.
And
like, why?
Martin.
Yeah, that's why they kind of odd manned out MPJ, and they're kind of like this is a dude who everybody's kind of like, yo, this is a superstar. He just playing he's playing Murray. The system, it was like in the system, he's great. They're like, this is a dude who could go somewhere and kind of be that dude and do a lot of heavy lifting. And so they was kind of like, that was one with like Michael Porter Jr. for Ben Simmons, Fox for Simmons, just because again contracts kind of line up and stuff.
Yeah, I actually had MPJ going over to Atlanta with a swap for like Onyeka Okongwu, young guy still on his rookie contract. I think he's going into his third year this year, and then adding like a John Collins to that. Oh yeah, like a DeAndre Hunter too. Yep.
Denver just got to stay healthy.
That's their thing every single year. Is health.
Every
health, and then they run into a team that's just better.
Yeah.
Like bad timing. But basketball's around the corner, man. We're a few weeks away from getting our first NBA episode into the mix where we kind of break out pretty evenly the NFL and the NBA. But we'll move into the NFL, man. Week 2. Talk about some of the notable games, man. The notable games from last week. What are some of the games that stood out to y'all that were like that showed you something? What were some of those games that stood out? Obviously, if it's your own team, speak on it. Let's hear it.
Anybody else want to go first?
All right, I'll go first. Some of the notable games for me was the Raiders versus Steelers.
Yep, that's
the Steelers continue with their offensive struggles. 10 touches and 39 yards for Najee Harris is not going to cut their offense or make them any better. I think they need to start running the ball more to open up their passing game. The Steelers defense, they're out on the field way too long, so that's what costed them the game, basically.
Extra to make a good defense look bad, and people forget that, man. Yeah. Sometimes people get caught in the numbers, and then I go look, and I be like, well, how many 3-and-outs did that team have? You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, yeah, they was on the team. They was on the field too long.
Yeah.
The Steelers,
so they can run the ball any good. Yeah. And then my next one was the Seahawks versus the Titans.
Seahawks, Titans.
As an elite of an offense, the Titans, they have like the worst starts to both of their games. They're like down by like 20 by halftime. That's like due to their like lackluster protection for Tannehill, who's getting beat up. Their defensive woes continue, so they're not going to be any better on that. It's weird because they got a lot of young talent on that defense too, and it's not really showing any production.
Same with the Seahawks defense, man. It just continues over the last three to 4 years. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the run. It's crazy.
Stephen A. and God, I can't remember his name. Listening to it right before we got off work, said they would believe in Pittsburgh if Pittsburgh was to bring in Cam right now.
Ooh, that's a hell of a fit.
They said if you're already schemed to throw the ball in 2 seconds, fine. You don't have to worry about Cam having that issue. But if you're having problems running the ball, why not get the most productive running quarterback in the last decade to help you do that?
On a discount.
I like that fit.
For a discount. You could probably bring in Cam right now for like 3 for Pats, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I think he played for the Pats his first year for like $1 million. Barely. With incentives.
Veteran minimum.
And I think y'all know Cam is endorsed up enough and business up enough to where he doesn't need that game check at all. Like he just
want to play ball.
That's gonna go pay his taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Big Ben, he has like a pec injury too, so he should try to look into that.
He caught the injury early in the first half. I didn't watch that game. I just kind of
Mhm.
back after. He said he hurt himself in the first half, struggled through the rest of the game, but he says since the game on Sunday, it's Wednesday, he hasn't thrown a football.
Yeah.
That's always been the most concerning thing for the Steelers every single year is when you depend on a guy that continues to be hurt and that prides himself on not going down on first contact to throw the ball 40 plus times a game. It just is never going to add up to what you want it to add up as. Deuce has been saying this. We've all been saying this. Run the damn ball. Run the ball. Keep your defense on the side. Let them rest. That's all you got to do.
Yep. I think again, there's just so much football going on. We can't really in detail watch everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seattle, again, I'm still trying to really figure out what's going on with them. I'm really still trying to figure out what's going on with the Rams and the Colts because it's kind of confusing as hell. I'm also, again, not overreacting to everything because it's week 2.
Mm-hmm.
We still see who's more consistent on each end. You hear about Kyler Murray and all these big numbers, but then you go back and you look and you're kind of like, they're going to live and die by this. You know what I'm saying? Like him just kind of running around and throwing it.
They got lucky.
Yeah, and we all know that stuff doesn't work week 8 and after. That's why that stuff doesn't work week 8 and after. That's why you fall off. I'm out on Jimmy G. I know we don't like Jimmy G, but I'm out on him. You know, like if you're not gonna, if you're not gonna beat a consistent factor, I might as well move on. You know what I'm saying? Like I might as well just push on and get up out my way. I fear for Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I pray for Justin Fields. I'm also losing touch on the Browns because the Texans was up at halftime. Before Tyrod got hurt, the Texans was up. I'm like, they say it all the time and we know it. The Browns have to play a perfect scheme, no turnovers, no nothing to win their game.
Yep.
That's Baker Mayfield problems. He's not going to win you no games. He's just Alex Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was just thinking that.
At best, like you can't, like you need your quarterback to break the limitations. That's why Pat is who he is. Because every time you're like done for, he blows the roof off of it. So I know I picked the Ravens in the beginning of the year to win that division, and I'm definitely gonna stick by it now.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
You got the Bengals.
I never won in your most important position. Lamar's better than Baker, hands down to me. It's not an argument. I like Kevin Stefanski. Harbaugh's a really good coach. I'm not going to take that from him. Marlon Humphrey in that defense always finds a way. They play second half of the season winning football.
Yep. That's
who I'm going to stick with. You know what I'm saying? The Browns have too much of a, if the game goes perfect, we'll win. But we know that that's not what wins you your game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
Odell coming back is not going to change any of that.
Yeah. Especially Odell coming back and Landry being out for a month.
Yep.
How about
so
you,
I'm
Deuce?
not.
I think the most two notable games that I've seen was which ones was the Chiefs Ravens. And the reason why I say that was a notable game for me is because the Ravens actually made a statement they made a statement that game. Even though they only won by 1 point, right? It was still a statement. It was a statement win. They needed that win because every time they go to Kansas City or Kansas City goes there, they don't lose like horribly, but they don't lose comfortably either. You know, like they getting multiple possession losses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it'd be close. It'd be a close game, and then all of a sudden you just see them fold, and then the Chiefs just put it on them. So I think that was a notable game for confidence for that team specifically. I think that one was the big thing for me. And then for my second one, actually, was the Bears Bengals game. I think with how they set it up, how Fields came in and finished it, right, and earned the starting spot this week from it. I think that was a big notable thing because his performance got him the starting spot this week, like for sure.
And Andy Dalton's hurt.
Coming out, yeah. But I think regardless, like it was one of those, like I don't think it's at this point where it was like what's the situation where Tyrod got his lung punctured last year and then Herbert just stepped up and like the reins never got given back. I think that's going to be the same situation now.
Yeah.
I don't think the reins are going to get back to Andy Dalton. I think Herbert is. Fields is going to be the guy now.
They're going to have Fields out there, so they're going to stick with it.
Yeah.
I agree for sure. I think one of the games that surprised me last week, not necessarily surprised me, but it basically proved to us what we already knew, was the Tampa Bay Bucks. They can just turn it on whenever they want. And like it's with as many weapons as Tom Brady has over there in his 22nd season, it almost just looked like, let's see what the defense can do. Let's let them get their legs up under them. Okay, Atlanta Falcons are catching up. All right, y'all, we need to go out there and score 3 more touchdowns. Like that to me is yes, you're playing the Falcons, but you're supposed to beat who's in front of you if you're supposed to beat them. That's exactly what they did. They beat the hell out of them.
Schedules come out in March, people. Schedules come out in March. You know what I'm saying? I hate that argument. But they only play, the schedules come out in March. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't decide who you play. They're already.
I'm done with Tua. I'm done with Tua, man. He has broken ribs. The man can't stay healthy. I don't want to believe in him no more. I'm gonna cut ties with that. I'm not gonna, I'm still rooting for you, dog, but there's no way you're gonna come back from that. The injury to Tua Tagovailoa almost solidified the fact that they're probably gonna aggressively go after Deshaun Watson, whether he plays this year or not.
I'm glad you said that. Carolina hosts a podcast every week where they host the opposite team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Houston dude said Deshaun's out, and the only place he wants to go is Miami. The only, like he said it. He said it's clear news all in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Rich is like best friends with Brian Flores, so I'm now on the Watson to Miami deal.
Yep, Watson's going to Miami. Tua probably will end up in that trade, and then he'll get lost in Houston. He'll become Marcus Mariota, which I hate saying. He'll end up disappearing. He'll have a couple good games here or there once he gets healthy. But I think he just has too much developing to do in being able to read defenses and being able to be consistent and being able to stay healthy, bro. Like, I understand it's not your fault that you broke your ribs, but your ribs are broke. Your hip was dislocated 2 years ago. Couldn't get right with your legs and your ankles the year before that. So it's like, I don't have faith in him really being what we all wanted him to be. The Panthers game surprised me, man. Sam Darnold, that defense is nasty. Like, J.C. Horn, everything that Vita said he was, the man was, and then some. The defense as a whole just showed up, man. CMC is gonna do CMC things. Sam Darnold gave you a little bit more than what we saw from Teddy Bridgewater at his best last year. And I think we've already seen more than that in Sam Darnold in 2 games. Your wide receiver core is definitely stronger than it was last year. A lot more experienced. That was one of the notable games for me. I looked at the Panthers and I was just like, it's hard for me to bet against them now after seeing that defense. With CMC on your offense, you're always going to get what you're going to get. Like, you're going to get 20 plus carries, 100 plus yards. You're going to get 5 to 7 catches. anywhere from 50 to 90 yards from CMC. He's gonna find a way to get in the end zone. Who the hell knows how, but he finds a way.
At least once.
Yeah, at least once. Even if
I
it's
don't
just
think
on a
he's ever
1
been
yard.
stuffed.
Even if it's just on a 1
Yeah.
yard run, he's gonna find a way to get into the end zone. But that defense is definitely the difference for me this year for y'all than it was last year.
Yeah. We again, if you remember the last year's draft, all defense, Chin, Brown, Phil Snow. Phil Snow's been the only coach who I can sit here and say to you today, from week 1 when he got there till now, who's actually gotten better. Rule and Joe Brady, they've been who they are, but Phil Snow, first 8 weeks last year, we was like 30th. We ended the year like 16th in total defense. Then you add Morgan Fox, Hassan Reddick, and J.C. Horn with another year of experience. That's why me and Deuce was like, yo, there's a really high ceiling for this team, bro. Like, there's a really high ceiling. I don't ever expect for us to win shootouts, because if we get in the shootout, we're not gonna win. Sam's not that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But as long as games stay here, both games we got up to double possession leads fast, and the defense really could pin back. And like, again, we're number 1 in sacks and rushing defense on, like, and we're not sending blitzes. Just Morgan Fox, Riddick, and Burns just being a beast, letting everybody eat freely. So as long as that stays there, I'm cool. And me and Deuce was talking earlier. I'm just happy we played Tampa Bay at the end of the year to give us a time to really be like, all right, I know we're playing them, and if it gets to that point, those will be real important games to a playoff implication if one is needed at that time. But we literally played them 15, Saints 16, and then we end the season with the Bucks. So 2 times in 3 weeks to end the year. So
honestly, I think those 3 games at the end of the season are going to be irrelevant for y'all. I think y'all lock in a playoff spot before that. I still think Tampa Bay wins that conference. I think y'all are right there behind them.
That's the tough part. If they lock it in, we have to win them, because, like we all say, we think 3 teams are going to come from the West.
Mm-hmm.
So we like if Tampa Bay locks it in, those 3 are going to be winning in. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we're looking at.
So that kind of takes a conversation into each division, man. I want to get into each conference and kind of talk about, we all had our picks at the beginning of the season, our way too early picks to win each conference. Kind of want to go through again based on what we know, what we've seen, and see if those picks stand true and who y'all are standing by. We're gonna start off with the AFC East. We got Buffalo, Miami, New England, and New York Jets. Who y'all got taking that? Y'all still got Buffalo clearly taking that conference?
Easy.
Yeah.
We're pretty
Easy.
Yeah, I still got Buffalo, but I will say I'm not impressed by him at all.
Yeah, same.
They've been underwhelming.
Yeah, for sure.
Underwhelming.
So we're pretty clear across the board with Buffalo taking that. But going into the AFC North, man, I'm gonna stand behind what I said about Lamar at the beginning of the season. Great win against the Chiefs. But Vita said this on his post, and he said it every single year since the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Everyone's gonna play their Super Bowl against the Chiefs because they've just been dubbed by the casuals and social media and media in general as that team, offensive juggernaut. So I think John Harbaugh had a great game plan. They didn't get away, make Lamar do anything out of character. He threw a pick 6 on his second throw of the game. Cool. But they stuck with it. They continued to run the ball. They got stops. I think
He threw another pick into like triple coverage.
Yeah, to Tyrann Mathieu again.
Yeah.
So the coverage pick was bad. The first one, if you go look back, Sammy slipped and fell.
Yeah, he fell.
Yeah. Up, that wouldn't have been 6.
But I stand behind what I said about Lamar at the beginning of the season. I mean, he showed me something for sure. Like, he showed me something, but so did John Harbaugh, so did that defense, so did the whole all-around game plan. Like, the Ravens as a team showed me something. Do I believe in Lamar any more than I did? No. Lamar's still that dude. He's still a top quarterback. But it just continues to support the fact that he ain't going to ever throw the ball. He's going to be honest. He's never going to shoot a three. He's going to continue to run the ball until he just can't run the ball no more. So, going into
I think he's like
that
third in the
conference.
league right now.
Yeah, and rushing.
Mm-hmm.
So going into that conference, Baltimore, Pitt, Cleveland, Cincinnati. What you got, Vita?
I got Baltimore, and I actually think Andrews just got paid, right? Like right after that game.
Yep. Before that game, actually.
Like
Before that game.
I think if they go back and look at the game film from Raiders and they look at the game film from the Chiefs and looking at how Harbaugh, I felt like seeing Harbaugh be like, Lamar, if you want to go for this, for me, that was kind of like the locked in, like, you've been saying it. Both of their careers are like sitting on each other right now. You know what I'm saying? Harbaugh's probably not going to get another QB over there. Lamar's probably not going to really get another chance from nobody else. I think if they go back and they look at that game film, I'm almost ready to put Andrews in the category. He's about to start getting Darren Waller targets. Now, I'm not saying as vertically deep, but you pointed out there was 3 safety net passes he could have just hit him for. And I think we're going to start to see a lot of Mark Andrews games of 9 receptions, 75 yards, 10 receptions, 80 yards. I think we're going to start a lot of those games start to pop up here soon. I really feel like that's what's about to happen. I'm really about, hey, get it to Mark. And you know what I'm saying? Let's use this safety net because he's a good one. I got the Ravens still winning because I just think at the end of the day, I got more trust in the most important 2 parts, coaching quarterback in Baltimore than I do in Cleveland. So I'm going to keep, I still got Baltimore.
Cool. How about you, Deuce? Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati. Across that whole conference right now, they're all 1-1.
I think at the beginning of the year, I said the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing them play now, and it's only 2 weeks. I probably feel like I know for a fact the Steelers are going to be tough in the late season. Same thing with the Ravens. Because both of those, that's just historically how they do. Like they putter along first 8 games, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh shoot, we're actually in season now." You know, and then
we're still in contention to win this conference.
You know, like but I think I'm gonna change it from the Browns to the Bengals. I think the Bengals are gonna and Joe B are gonna start picking it up.
That's earlier in the season, that would have been a crazy statement. That'd have been a Tua-esque. What the what? But with the way it's looking now, man, it's not so crazy at all.
I think it's gonna be a sleeper one. Again, this division, I'm still because like that you can't argue the talent that's in that division anymore.
Yeah.
Like they got talent there, and it's any Sunday, right? Any given Sunday, so you don't know until you get there. But I'm gonna switch from the Browns to the Bengals.
Cool.
And
who's going with the Bengals? Who you got, Polly?
I'll switch from the Browns to the Steelers. Just because their defense is the best in that division, and once they pick up their offense, it's going to start rolling. Their wins are going to start picking up and stuff. So, yeah, that's the only reason why I got the Steelers.
Yep. I got to say I'm right there with you with the Steelers, man. I'm going to move from the Browns to the Steelers. Vita articulated it perfectly about Baker Mayfield. He's not going to win you games. Neither is Nick Chubb. Neither is that defense. The defense looks good. It ain't great. But the Steelers defense, man, with as many pieces as the Ravens are missing, that's what's keeping me from going over to the Ravens. They're missing so many pieces. They've shown that those running backs missing don't really mean anything. They're going to run with who they got. They brought in Devontae Freeman on 1 week's practice, and he went out there and almost got 100 yards. He was running that play option, that RPO with Lamar, no problem, super seamless. So, but still, I think it's hard for me not to believe that they're eventually gonna, ramp up the runs by Najee Harris. and Ben is gonna get it going. I gotta go with the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like we pretty split across the board. No one believes in Cleveland in that division anymore. I think that'll kind of stay even when Odell comes back next week. But the AFC South, man, this was pretty clear before with either Tennessee or Indianapolis. But from what we've seen from all four of those teams, we got Houston at 1-1, Tennessee at 1-1, Jacksonville 0-2, and Indianapolis at 0-2. Wale, who you got taking this conference, the AFC South?
I got the Titans. I think the Seahawks woke up the Titans offense, and we're going to see what they're made of now every week. Defensively, no, I don't think the Titans are in any shape or form going to stop any type of offense. They're just going to be in a shootout, and they're going to win every shootout. That's how I see it.
Oh, that's tough. But that's probably true. How about you, Vita? Who you got in the AFC South?
If Tyrod Taylor wasn't hurt, I would have picked the Houston.
Facts.
If Tyrod Taylor wasn't hurt, I would have real life stood here today and told y'all that I even feared tomorrow's game if Tyrod Taylor was playing. Because I sat there and I watched, and I mean, all of us know he's not a bum quarterback. He's a good quarterback. And then you go watch and you're like, yo, dude's killing it. You know what I'm saying? So again, I picked the Titans. I'm going to stick by the Titans. Can Jacksonville go 0-17? 16?
Yes.
No, I think they beat the Titans.
You forget that Tyrod took the Buffalo Bills bum team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
I think Jacksonville upsets Tennessee one game. And that's going to be purely because they're going to walk in there. Tennessee's going to have a clear lead in the division on the conference. And it's going to be one of those trap games that you see in the NBA all the time. When you got a Warriors versus Lakers, 2 days later, you got the Lakers playing the Kings and the Warriors playing like the Spurs.
Yeah.
But I think Jacksonville ends up getting one of their dubs against Tennessee. But I'm there with you. I'm definitely gonna go with Tennessee too. I think I'm surprised Julio's the number one receiver over there. Like I am surprised. But we'll see how that plays out over the rest of the year. This fool Derrick Henry got 35 carries for 150 plus and 3 touchdowns. They did not shy away from handing that ball, even though they got as powerful receiving core as they do.
Yeah.
Who you got, Deuce? AFC South, Houston, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Indianapolis.
I'm gonna stay with the Titans.
Stay with the Titans.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think we're pretty unanimous.
They just got to, like, everybody gets so caught up on KC's juggernaut offense when the Titans have just the same amount.
And they can
But they
run
got
the
running
ball.
backs.
Yeah, they
But
can run the
that's what I'm
ball.
saying. Like of course, Tannehill's not Mahomes and Pat, right? But their receiver core is a lot better. Their line is better because they can run the ball as dominantly as they do, and they got Derrick Henry. Like,
And man, can they run the ball? All right, this
among boys.
This gonna be the most interesting conference I want to hear an answer for. Is the AFC West. All right, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at 2-0 at the top of that conference. We got Denver Broncos starting at 2-0. Second in that conference, we got KC at 1-1 and the Chargers at 1-1. We were pretty back and forth with KC and LA at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
What does that look like now? The Raiders, Derek Carr showing up in ways we have not seen him show up before. To this level, he's always performing. He's always gonna give you some numbers, but typically because they're behind in games. But who do y'all got winning this one? We'll start with Deuce. AFC West.
I'm still hold with the Chargers. I think the Chargers are gonna right the ship. And I mean, again, it's only week 2.
Yeah.
And they haven't had a divisional game yet, if I remember right. Yeah. They haven't had a
Yeah.
divisional game yet.
Yeah, they have not.
So that's I guess that's when more so when I'll be more frightful is if they once they start getting to the divisional games and if they can't pull it together on the divisional games. But I think they got it.
Cool. How about you, Paula?
I'm gonna switch mine from the Chargers to the Chiefs.
Oh,
Only for the fact from that last game they played against the Cowboys, they couldn't stop nothing.
at all.
Imagine the Chiefs on that defense. I mean, granted, the Chiefs don't have a great defense as well. I think they're the worst defense in the league right now. But having Patrick Mahomes is the difference in that division. I think he's gonna easily take that division. I think
That might almost be something to say about the Dallas Cowboys more so than the San Diego Chargers defense. I think, because I mean they came out week 1 against the Tampa Bay Bucks, who had a pretty stout defense coming out from top to bottom. They put up numbers. So is that more to say about the Cowboys offense or the San Diego Chargers defense?
I mean, I think Cowboys offense always been good. They always had the weapons. They just never put it together.
Facts.
The Chargers defense, I didn't see much from that defense.
Yeah,
defensively, they had Tony Pollard. He had 13 carries for 103 yards.
103 yards and a
and
touchdown.
a touchdown.
Sheesh.
He can. Yeah, I don't believe in that.
That's
So
tough.
that's the only reason why I'm going with the Chiefs in this division.
Cool. I'm gonna stick with the Chargers for me. I think the Chargers will figure it out. I just believe too much in Justin Herbert. I had him as an MVP this year. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with it at least through this week. We'll see what happens. How about you, Vita? AFC West.
I still got KC. For the reason that Raiders started 2-0 last year, soiled it. I feel like that's a Gruden trait. I do know for a fact they do have a D-line this year. And so they have the one thing that they haven't had the last 2 years. But it's not enough for me to be confident enough to be like, yeah, I think that's going to put y'all over the top. But I do believe that they could be 3-0 after this week. And I almost put money on Chargers. Like, I don't bet y'all, but I'm like, if I could figure this out, I'm tempted to put whatever the money line is called, I'm tempted to put money on the Chargers beating KC at home this week. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if that worked out, KC will be 1-3 at the bottom of the division. Everybody else would be, I think Broncos is playing like the Jets or something. So Broncos and Raiders will be 3-0. Chargers will be 2-1, and KC will be 1-3. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that worked out, like
Love to see it.
Look,
You love
that's
to
the
see it.
thing. I forgot who the Raiders win, Broncos win, and Chargers beat the Chiefs. 2 teams 3-0, San Diego 2-1, and KC 1-3. Well, 1-2. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could be, you know what I'm saying? That could be a whole. I still got
That's the
KC.
headline.
The only reason why I'm gonna be sympathetic towards KC is they have the worst defense on paper, worst rushing defense on paper, but you played the 2 best rushing offenses in the league. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hold you to that because your division doesn't run the football like that. And in the throwing contest, no, your division isn't gonna keep up with you. But I do think the Chargers have the secondary because I like Samuel Jr. I like Derwin James. I do believe the Chargers do have the secondary to be like, all right, we can stop y'all and we can put some things together because Bosa always gives Chiefs problems on the line. So I'm not gonna lie, KC's a safety net, but y'all, there's a real world out there with Denver and Raiders could be 3-0 this week, and the Chiefs could be 1-2. You know what I'm saying? The Chargers 2-1, and if that happens, it's too much of a gap to come back from.
Ooh, KC in last place in their conference after the 3rd week.
The Raiders got a favorable schedule.
Yeah,
I love to see it. I wish I could see it. I'm gonna enable my notifications on Facebook for that. I'm gonna just go be greasy on all the Chiefs fan statuses too.
We'll celebrate at the kickback.
Learning the
That's
betting
the Super Bowl right there.
They only got AC like 6-point favorites over the Chargers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a 110 line. I was like, so kind of doing math, like, man, I could probably get to eat. Like, if Chargers win, I could get me a couple $100 of that. You know? If the Chargers win.
Sheesh. All right, so that'll take us into the NFC, man. The NFC East. I'm gonna start us off right here. I'm gonna start us off. We got Washington, Philly, Dallas, and New York Giants at 0-2. Everyone else is 1-1. I think the Eagles are gonna win. We're gonna win our conference, man. I'm pretty confident that we are going to win our conference. We're only getting better, man. We played the Falcons. We're supposed to beat them. So we beat them. We played the 49ers, who have a pretty stout defense, especially in their conference. That West Coast offense that they see week to week in their division and in their conference. I think it was 17-11. We're a couple completions away with a bunch of young players and a couple of stops away from having the lead and being, in the lead and in control of that game. I saw some positive things that I could take away from that. My one worry is this week would dictate whether or not I die on my sword for the rest of the year or I go back to the Cowboys, because we play the Cowboys this week.
Yeah.
And man, that offense is just stupid. Like, yeah, we see them every year. Yeah, we give them problems. They give us problems. But man, that offense is just too OP right now. Amari Cooper ain't even your number one receiver right now. CeeDee Lamb is. And he's coming off a hell of a rookie year. So I'm gonna go with my Eagles pending this week's outcome. But who do y'all got? We'll go with Vita.
So I still got Dallas. Right now. But I got Eagles right there too. And I'm 100% out on Washington and Giants. Because as a person who knows Ron Rivera, maybe Deuce might agree, it's very, you know what I'm saying? Listen, he never meets expectation. He only overexceeds them. So when his team's supposed to be trash, he does good. When his team's supposed to be good, he does trash. So I don't. It's very Ron Rivera. I'm out. I'm out on Washington. I'm out on the Giants. And again, I wouldn't call the first matchup, but you definitely want to win this first one, even though we all know it's that second divisional matchup that's really gonna the coin flip for the end of the year. But I still have to lean just a little bit towards Dallas because I think they figured out not how to make Zeke more productive, but I think Pollard. I think they're learning to let him eat, and I think they're finding that rotation out, and that's going to bring good balance for them.
Oh yeah. How about you, Deuce?
So I had the football team at the beginning, kind of like Vita said, like just these last couple of weeks, it's like, Ron Rivera,
Ron is going Ron.
like, he's gonna get you a solid 5-6 wins, on his off years. But the people who are surprising me the most are definitely the Eagles. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles. I think that they're improving more and more consistently and in more volume than what people are expecting the Cowboys to do, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, for
or
sure.
what we're expecting the Cowboys to do. Like, I think the Eagles are gonna be better doing the Eagles than the Cowboys are gonna be doing the Cowboys. Like, especially in this improvement phase, because you guys been looking good each week and like actually improving. And that boy Hurts I've been a fan of Hurts anyway, so, and he's actually getting his shine, getting his spot, rightfully now. So yeah, I don't think he fumbles the bag on this one.
Oh, and it's looking nice, and I hope it continues to be that. How about you, Paulie? Who you got for the NFC East?
I got the Cowboys. Due to the fact Mike McCarthy had a full year with them, and now, like him with Green Bay, he was a good offensive coach, and now he's gonna only get better with Dak and all his young receivers and stuff. So, and they got Dan Quinn on defense, so
True.
I think that helps their defense tremendously from who was it, Mike Nolan last year.
Mike Nolan, yeah. Dan Quinn's a
And
hell of
yeah,
a defensive mind too.
and the last time he was a defensive coach, he was with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, when it was
with
in the
the
Super
Legion of
Bowl.
Boom. Yeah. So yeah, but Eagles close second though.
Cool. We're gonna go to the NFC North. Green Bay's in lead 1-1. Chicago with Justin Fields as their starting quarterback is at 1-1. Detroit is 0-2. Minnesota at a disappointing 0-2. I actually got Green Bay winning this conference, man. I think Aaron Rodgers had enough of the BS week 1, saw enough of the BS week 2 in the first half, and he was just like, all right, let's play. Let's win this conference. Let's get this year over with so I can be gone. I think he handily wins that conference, especially with Justin Fields at quarterback in Chicago. I think he's gonna have his struggles. Andy Dalton couldn't get protected. Justin Fields has a little bit better of a chance because he can scramble, he can make those on the run. But I got Green Bay handily winning this conference. How about you, Paula? This is your team's conference, so I'm gonna throw a coin out there to bet what you gonna say is winning.
I mean, it's gonna be Packers. I mean, we always do good against our own division. We haven't really lost much from us. The only competition we really got is Minnesota, and first 2 weeks they've blew it. So, yeah, I think we easily take care of this division. Yeah, that's all I got.
Ooh. Deuce, who you got? Green Bay, Chicago, Detroit, Minnesota.
I'm gonna go Green Bay.
Green Bay.
I think, yeah. I even before, Pollard, I've been saying week 3 is when Green Bay is gonna actually like get it right. So they proved me wrong and got it right a week before. Right, but I feel like in week 3 is definitely when they're gonna like do Green Bay things.
Green Bay, cool. Vito, who you got taking this conference?
I said Green Bay easily. Green Bay stays. Green Bay wins this thing by like 3-4 games minimum. Every other team is just Green Bay's just dominated that division. Period. Even when like other teams were at their best, they just can't keep up. So yeah, Green Bay's gonna win this one easily. I would shoot. You call this mug by like week 12. They're gonna be chilling. The only issue at that point is gonna be, can they push for that number 1 seed and get the bye? If not, I think they'll just smart enough organization. They'll be like, let's play to get our home field for as far as we can, and then move on out the way. Which I think is a realistic thing because Green Bay is gonna pull out, I still think 12, 13 games. The NFC West is gonna beat up on each other enough that I don't think any of them would reach 12, 13 games. And Bucks look like they're going to be 13 minimum. You know what I'm saying? The worst end of it. So you pretty much got where I'm standing now, Tampa and Green Bay fighting for who gets that home field. You know what I'm saying? That's that.
Ooh, this is the one that I was looking forward to talking about is the NFC South. Tampa Bay, Carolina, New Orleans, and Atlanta. We got Tampa Bay and Carolina up top at 2-0. We got New Orleans at 1-1, and ATL obviously probably won't win any games. They might win 2 or 3 this year simply because Matt Ryan and Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts is going to get it together. They're going to figure it out to win 2 or 3 games simply on talent alone, not on coaching because their coaching is trash. 2 weeks in, I'm gonna start us off, man. I'm gonna say that Tampa Bay wins by the hairs on their chinny chin chins. It's gonna be the difference between like 2 or 3 games. I think Carolina's gonna be right on their heels. I don't think New Orleans is gonna be a factor because I think by the time they start winning games later in the season, Carolina has already separated themselves. Tampa Bay has separated themselves. I think Carolina's gonna be right behind them by like 1 or 2 games throughout the season. But I got Tampa Bay. We'll go Pala and then we'll go with the 2 Panther fans.
I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay. Carolina's right behind them though. It's not an easy pick. It's very close actually. I think that Carolina they're gonna end up like how the Saints dominated that division for a cool little second. I think they're gonna their defenses might carry them to their wins. Some of them, but I'm looking forward to those Tampa Bay matchups though at the end of the season. But I got Tampa Bay.
For sure. All right, Deuce. How many games are the Panthers gonna win your conference by?
All of them. We're sweeping the division.
All of them.
Sweeping the division. All of them.
It's a sweep.
Oh damn. Sweeping
Yes,
this
sir.
last 3 games of the season, y'all just gonna go all out into the
Sweep.
playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh.
Yep.
No troubles at all.
No troubles.
All right, cool.
None.
Breezy.
We're gonna end your turn there. Let me go talk to a realistic Panthers fan.
Breeze.
All right, Vito,
Breeze.
what's it looking like?
I'll make it clear again now since we play tomorrow. I'm expecting to hit 4-0. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting to hit 4-0. I said it in the beginning of the year. I had an expectation to get out the first 8 weeks at 6-2 minimum. 6-2 minimum, first 8 weeks. That's the worst I can let. Because in the back half, 2 times against Tampa, another time against Atlanta, another Saints game. We got a Bills, we got a Cardinals game. We got teams we got to play. I got to get to week 8 at 6-2 at the very, very worst. Because Atlanta is always a trap game. The niggas who beat us in our undefeated year, you know what I'm saying? Atlanta's always a trap game. Playing the Saints, probably by that time will be, they'll have Lattimore and a couple more people back. Sean Payton's still the best coach in our division, so I'm not going to sleep on them. But with Jameis, they got their high ceiling, low floor. We know how that could go. So the only thing I could give Tampa over us comfortably without arguing it with you is the fact that in the most important positions, they're locked in Bruce Arians and Tom Brady. Y'all know I hate Matt Rule. Y'all know I hate USC quarterbacks. So the fact that I have to, have these 2 guys usher my team, it's bittersweet because me and Deuce, we sat here for the last 2 weeks and we said it. These dudes literally have said in the second half they let off the gas and they don't go score more points. They literally said they let off the gas, and this is why teams are living instead of going out there and killing people. That's going to be very bad, very bad. So I'm looking at 11 wins, and the only way that I know that we could probably win our division is we are going to have to sweep the Bucs at the end of the year. Which means if we have to play them at the end of the year and sweep them, it means they're in a bad spot too, because they ain't as far as ahead as they should be.
Thanks.
Or as everybody assumes that they would be. We could get to that. We could get to week 15 and these dudes is 14-0 and they really just don't give a damn because they done locked it in. And you know what I'm saying? We're playing whatever type of game. So there's that too. That's the bad part about playing them at the end because they could be like that and we just got to deal with that. So I'm looking at 11 wins and a wild card spot. That is my expectation. Anything less than that, if I start firing people.
Cool. We're going to move into probably one of the toughest divisions, toughest conferences in the whole NFL, the NFC West. You just said they're going to beat up on each other by the time they get to the playoffs, which I think is true. They're all pretty much at a winning record aside from Seattle Seahawks that are 1-1. But Frisco, we got the Rams, we got the Cards, we got the Seahawks. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 1-1 from Seattle. I think the Rams are going to win this division. They're going to win this conference. And I think they're going to win this conference by like 2 or 3 games. just because the San Francisco 49ers will sit on Jimmy Garoppolo longer than they need to. He's going to play this whole year, like Vita said. And that's going to be the reason they probably miss the playoffs. They'll probably miss the playoffs. Very underwhelming against the last 2 weeks against the Eagles and the Detroit Lions, who almost made a miraculous comeback. Like, that was dumb. Y'all couldn't recover an onside kick or stop Jared Goff. You knew he was throwing. Who is he throwing it to? He ain't got no receivers. DeAndre Swift, his running back. Y'all couldn't stop that. What? But I think the Rams come out and they'll win that division, win that conference by like 2 or 3 games. We'll start off with Deuce. We'll go to Vita, and then we'll finish off with Paula.
The Rams
Go with the Rams.
open shut. Yeah, open shut. Matt Stafford and Sean McVay, and just the Rams team outside of Matt Stafford is already like super composed, and you drop in a Matt Stafford into this already composed organization entity, and like the stars are the limit, you know. Like I still don't think we've seen the best Rams yet.
Facts. Cooper Kupp is playing
Like,
out of his mind. Van Jefferson.
And that's the scary part. Like, that's the scary part, is like we still haven't seen the best Rams yet.
Robert Woods is still over there. I agree. Cool, Vita. Who you got in that conference?
So I'm gonna give Cephas' prediction because I agree with it. I think the Rams win it. I think Seattle gets in, but I think Seattle beats whoever gets in the division, just because that's just the tendency of what happens. So I got Rams winning. Now I got Frisco falling out and the Cardinals and Seahawks getting in with the Rams.
Cool. Hey, JD, TTE till they lay me in a casket. What up, JD? All right, Polly, wrap us up with the last pick for the conference, man. Who you got winning this tough conference over there in the NFC West?
Rams, easy.
Easy.
They have the most complete team, and across the board, Matt Stafford's the best quarterback. Well, yeah, with the best team.
Yeah. I think he can afford to make the most mistakes too, knowing what he has on defense. Yeah. All right, cool. That's our picks for each conference. We're gonna save the divisional picks until we get halfway through the season. I'll stop by and say what's up. Hey, appreciate you coming through, JD, man. Keep teaching them teachings, man. I'm gonna need my 2K smoke though whenever you're available, sir. Real quick, we're gonna go through each team matchup this week. We're gonna have y'all pick, and then we'll move into the new segment, trash or pass. I'll kind of break it down a little bit more how we're gonna do it this week, with trash or pass, and then we'll go from there. Y'all ready? Panthers, Texans. I think we are pretty clear with the Panthers. We don't need to go through everybody, do we?
I don't think so.
Panthers 35-3. Bet.
35-3. Sheesh.
That's what I see. And the 3 is because they took their foot off the pedal in the second half and they ended up kicking a field goal.
I wish they were, for once, like this game, just let Sam get like 6 unnecessary touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? like in the red zone, you know how everybody do that boosty little touch pass that counts as a passing touchdown?
Yep.
Just do that times to McCaffrey if we're down on the 1 yard line. You know what I'm saying? And boost some numbers.
Cool. The Washington football team versus the Buffalo Bills. Shoot, who y'all got?
Buffalo.
I agree. We're pretty clear across the board. The Bears and the Browns and Justin Fields' first start. Return to OBJ, I believe.
Browns.
You got the Bears.
I gotta go with the Browns. I got the Browns.
I got the Bears.
I don't trust a rookie quarterback. The Bears. Ravens, Lions. 2 completely opposite teams.
Ravens, baby.
Ravens.
Ravens.
Also going with the Ravens.
They couldn't stop Aaron Jones. They ain't gonna stop Lamar Jackson.
Big trust. The Colts and the Titans. I mean, Carson Wentz is out with 2 sprained ankles. How you sprained both your ankles? Both of them.
I'm off on the Carson Wentz train too. I ain't with that.
Baby. Like,
He sprained
Like,
both his
remember
ankles.
what I said? If he can make it to week 5 without being hurt, they stand a good chance.
That's facts, because they're in every one of these games.
Mm-hmm.
They're in every one of these games.
There was a clause in that trade too that he had to play like 75% of the snaps. It was downgraded to like a second round pick. So look,
We all going with the Titans. Chiefs Chargers, probably the game to watch. It's probably going to be the game of the week. Chiefs and the Chargers.
This was the hardest game, I think.
This wasn't the hardest one, but I got the Chiefs. It was tough, but I got the
Chiefs.
I got the Chargers.
So, I'm gonna switch mine from the Chiefs to the Chargers, just because I'm a hater.
I had the Chargers on this one.
That's almost the basis of my picks every week against the Chargers. I'm just like, do I hate y'all enough to believe this team could beat y'all? This is one where I believe in Herbie go Ducks.
Go ahead and mark that down, Paula. I'm switching from the Chiefs.
I'm switching it for you, dudes. I switched it. I got the Chargers too. This is their one win they get against the Chiefs.
Yeah, and they usually get the first one.
Yeah,
they usually get the first
KC
one.
at home though. KC's at home.
That's what I'm saying. They usually get the
KC's
first
at home.
Yeah, that's why I'm not gonna go against.
Oh, they losing at home.
Yeah.
They losing at home. Saints and the Pats. This is more of a battle of the coaches than it is battle of the players.
I got Pat.
I got the Saints.
I think I took the Pats. I'm gonna take the Pats.
Mookie took the Saints too. I took the Saints.
I'm gonna go with the Saints. I do not trust. After what I saw last week against the Jets, they blitzed the hell out of Zach Wilson. That whole organization just looks lost. Y'all see that clip that I sent to the chat? That's how the whole Jets organization looks.
Mm-hmm.
They had tight ends playing patty cake in the middle of a play. What?
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't slide your protection to the left? What? The Falcons and the Giants. I think the Giants.
This was the hardest one.
This was
a hard one too.
This was the hardest one.
All of them were hard, man.
Oh damn!
Most of them were tough.
Oh damn!
I'm gonna go Falcons.
I was there for like 5 minutes and was like, man,
I got the Falcons.
I got the Falcons.
You got two.
I had the Falcons.
You got 2 armless people in a boxing match. Who gonna win?
So Vita, you're changing your pick to the Falcons?
Yeah. Wait. Falcons at home, right?
Nah, Giants at home.
Oh yeah, I took home team. I went home team. That's what I went with. I went with whoever was.
I'm gonna go with the Giants. Saquon gonna go for $150. Sterling Shepard gonna get 10 catches.
I swear, the only time I don't pick the Giants, if they win, I'm throwing my phone away.
The Bengals and the Steelers. The Steelers are at home. 1-1, both teams.
It's the Steelers.
I got the Steelers.
Steel curtain. Me also.
I'm switching again.
You gonna go with the Bengals?
He did call the Bengals the conference winners.
I'm gonna go Bengals.
You gonna go Bengals? Okay.
And you might gonna have to go put a $25 bet down on parlay for your picks this week. You might turn that into $700K like that dude last week who needed the Packers to lose. I think Aaron Rodgers saw that bet and he was like, "Nah."
Bet. He's like, bet
him because technically a $25 free bet, he couldn't cash it out anyway. Even if he won, because it was a free bet. Yeah, but I guess as a consolation for getting so close, it's a good consolation to me. They gave him $133,000.
That's a consolation?
It's great.
As a con,
Great.
it was on Twitter. I meant to send it to y'all, but I got caught by my
That's a
boss.
consolation. 133,000. Sheesh.
Bro,
How do I get a
bro,
consolation like that?
that's a house.
I don't know.
Bro, that's a house.
I can go buy
I
some
get
land.
participation award.
Yes, they
I can go buy
said it
some
was
land for a
like
TTE
$5
warehouse. What?
because it's the free promo, $25. They wouldn't have been able to pay him. And then, but I take 133 easily. Yes.
I'd have been
Oh,
like,
hell
hey,
no.
hey, if the Packers
Hey,
lost,
what
I'd have
app
been
was he
like,
on?
I think it's DraftKings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Google's DraftKings.
DraftKings ain't even legal in Utah, the only state in America. Stupid ass state.
Oh, wow.
That's tough. That's tough.
I gotta drive to Nevada to place any bet. I ain't gonna drive 4 hours, 3 hours to make a damn bet.
Hilarious.
All right, Cardinals, Jags. Jags going 0-3 this week. Everyone saying yes?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We believe it. Jets and
Trevor Lawrence,
Broncos.
all the
Trevor Lawrence getting beat up this game against the Cards. Jets and Broncos. Jets going 0-2. Are the Broncos going 3-0?
Broncos.
Out the Broncos.
Broncos.
Dolphins,
I don't-
Raiders.
I don't know how much stock to put
Raiders.
in Teddy because Teddy leads the league in passing attempts plus 20 yards.
And that's without Jerry Jeudy, who I think he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So he's throwing to KJ Hamler and friends. The Dolphins and the Raiders. Dolphins are without Tua. The Raiders are 2-0.
Raiders.
They being 3-0.
Raiders.
Raiders.
And they in that dope stadium. Let's talk about that stadium.
Yeah,
That
nice
stadium
stadium.
is tight.
Hey, if they got a watch party, I feel like we should go to the watch party at the stadium if they got one there.
Hey man, as long as it ain't no crazy price, I'm in there. You know it's gonna be
We
an
can
entry
sneak
fee.
I feel like, I hope it wouldn't be.
We can sneak in.
There'd probably be a leg in an arm for that.
We can sneak in. We'll be fine.
Bucks and the Rams. This was a hard one for me to pick.
Rams.
Rams are at home.
I got the Rams.
I got the Rams.
I got the Bucks.
Got the Rams.
I got the Rams.
I gotta go with the Bucks.
I don't think they get it done on the road, man.
I bet against Tom too
Not
many
at the Rams.
times.
I think Tom Brady lost to the Rams last year, and the Rams have Jared Goff.
Yeah. And Jared threw for like 350.
Jared dotted them up that game. So
This is probably one of the most even games that we'll see this whole season.
This
Yeah,
is definitely gonna be a one of those ones where you see who's really made like that.
mhm.
It's Tom.
That's 4 weeks too early for that. If this matchup was like week 8 or week 9, it'd have got flexed to prime time and all that mess.
Oh, it'd be a Monday
Mhm.
night game. Instead, it's a Sunday afternoon, 2:25 Pacific Standard Time. Seahawks, Vikings. Vikings are at home.
I got the Hawks.
I be wanting to pick Seattle because I just feel like they're like that. You know what I'm saying? Still,
Tyler
But I
Lockett
feel
went
like-
out for 180 last week.
games with Minnesota.
I be wanting to pick the Vikings, but then I'd be like, damn, but it's the Vikings. Like, are they really
Yeah,
gonna
I was
follow
about,
through?
I was close to picking the Vikings too. I was like, damn,
You
Yeah, I
like
Kirk
got
that?
Cousins,
You know,
Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson. Damn.
that's totally basic. That I believe in Russ more than I believe in Kirk.
I'm also gonna go with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Seahawks get it done on the road. They're gonna recover after their tough loss last week in overtime.
Yep.
DK has still been non-existent, and I need to mention that. Packers 49ers. 49ers are at home.
I got the Packers.
They're about to go in there and
You
whack
got
them.
my team.
I also got the Packers. 49ers are extremely underwhelming. They're without another running back this week, Elijah Mitchell, after losing Raheem Mostert. So they'll be into their rookie running back, I believe, Hasty. Monday night game, Eagles, Cowboys. Cowboys are at home. They're in Jerry World.
This was a tough one.
I got the Eagles.
When I get stuck, I go home team. When I get stuck, I go home team. Oh,
Me.
Dallas. I gotta go home team.
Hey
But
man,
it's benefit because Philly will get the cold weather tiebreaker game.
fly Eagles fly, man. You already know where I'm going. Even though my logic says we're probably gonna lose this game by a field goal. Still picking the Eagles. All right, y'all. Trash or pass? I had on there earlier overreact or overrated or wait, what was
Yeah,
it?
overreact or overrated.
Overreact or overrated. 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 And 5.
Mm.
Man. Instead, I decided to combine that with trash or pass. Pilot, break down how this is gonna go, man. How trash or pass gonna look this week?
Oh damn, I forgot. You gotta tell me I started laughing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
So we're basically gonna go through every team in the league, and we're gonna give them a trash, or do they get a pass after 2 weeks of football? Just real quick.
Sounds
Buffalo Bills.
Pass.
good. Pass.
Based off the 2 weeks of
So
football.
so we're
trash.
giving them a pass. Okay. We got
I give
pass,
them a pass.
pass.
I'm getting
I'm also gonna
Based
say
off the 2
trash. Yeah.
trash. Yeah. Based off
I'm
these
gonna
last
say
2 weeks, trash.
Miami Dolphins.
Trash.
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 Basura.
New
We
England
won't be
Patriots.
saying that in 4 weeks when they get Watson.
You think Watson actually plays though?
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
thinking of putting him in today.
Oh damn.
So no, they said technically on paper because he's on the PUP list, right?
Yeah.
That if 4 weeks on the PUP list, he could technically sue for grievances. But he's not going to sue for grievances because then it'll mess up everything going on. So I think by week 6 he could be gone. Like real talk, be gone.
Ooh. New England Patriots.
Trash.
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 Yeah.
What'd you say? You said
Very
trash?
underwhelming. Trash.
New York Jets.
Basura.
Basura. Trash.
Subway street trash.
The trash that no one picks up, not even the trash man.
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens.
Pass.
Pass.
Yeah, they'll get a pass. They get a pass from me. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Trash.
Pass for me. Pass for me.
Pilot was quick.
Trash.
They get a pass. They get a pass from me. Cleveland Browns. Trash.
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 They messed up my pick, man.
Trash.
They messed up my pick. They messed up my pick.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Trash.
Trash. Deuce, you said they trash, bro. I thought you got them winning. You don't like what you seen? You don't like what you see in 2 weeks?
Boy contradicted himself in 2 seconds.
I thought you got them winning the conference. Man, I'm confused. What?
No, I do. I do got them winning, but they're still trash.
But you give Baltimore a pass? I don't understand.
I don't.
I'm confused.
Based off the 2
That
weeks.
boy dude's funny.
The reason why? Because they lost. Because they messed up my picks. They
There it is. There it is.
messed up my picks, man.
Oh man. Sheesh.
Because of that.
Houston Texans.
Yeah,
Trash.
pass for me.
Trash.
So only trash now because Tyrod's out. But if Tyrod was playing, I let it slide.
Trash.
Leave him alone.
I can see that.
Trash.
Tennessee Titans.
God.
Trash.
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 Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts.
Trash.
We'll say it as a team.
Both of them.
Trash. Trash.
Trash.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Pass.
Pass.
Pass for sure. The
Pass.
Denver Broncos. 2-0.
Pass.
Pass.
They get a pass.
I didn't think they was
Ass.
gonna be undefeated by this point.
Me neither.
I thought they were best 1-1.
Kansas City Chiefers.
Trash.
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 What you giving them, Vita?
I said pass. I'll pass on this one.
Trash.
All right.
They barely beat the Browns and then lose.
But I'm telling y'all, if that scenario happens, a 3-0 Raiders, a 3-0 Broncos, and the Chargers, and a 1-2 Chiefs, right here, I got some plastic wrap for them. Paper them up, and we'll put them up, wrap it up. It's done.
Yeah.
I got the plastic wrap.
That's
It's over with.
That's tough. The the LA Chargers.
Pass.
They get a pass from me.
Pass. Washington football team. Trash.
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 Philadelphia Eagles.
Pass.
Yeah, pass.
Oh yeah. Dallas Cowboys. They get a pass for me.
They get a pass.
Trash.
They must have messed up your pick week 1.
They ain't messing my pick. They just trash.
Okay. The New York Giants.
Trash. With the Jets.
They win this week. They're definitely trash. Only week I don't pick them.
I hope they blow them out, bro. I hope they win by a lot.
Messing up my picks, man. Messing up my
Man,
picks.
these picks are getting crucial moments, man.
I hope they win by a lot.
They win. They're trash times 5.
The Green Bay Packers.
Pass.
You pass.
Trash.
I almost said trash.
I'm gonna say trash. They messed up my picks.
Hey,
They messed up my picks.
if all facts, no feelings was a person,
It's definitely Deuce.
Chicago Bears.
God.
Trash.
Trash.
Even though I picked them to win.
I'm going to give him a pass.
I just don't see them.
Yeah, they'll get a trash from me still. Detroit Lions. Gotta give them a pass.
I got to give him.
I give them a pass too. They didn't play that bad.
They played
They
a hell of a
in close
game these
games.
last 2 weeks.
They in close games, but I'm still gonna give them trash.
Minnesota Vikings.
Trash.
Tampa Bay Bucks.
Trash.
Pass.
Pass.
You already know why. You already know why.
Carolina Panthers.
Pass.
They get a pass.
Pass.
We valid.
The New Orleans Saints.
Trash.
They get the pass.
Trash.
Yeah, I give them a pass.
Trash.
Atlanta Falcons. Let's say it all together now.
Trash.
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 You already know. You already know.
Frisco.
Trash.
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 They should be
They're
winning by
2-0, but
They
the
should be winning by
LA
more.
Rams.
Pass.
Get a
They get a
pass and
pass.
grade.
They valid.
Arizona Cardinals.
Valid. Pass.
They pass.
Pass. And the Seattle Seahawks.
Pass.
Trash.
Pass.
Trash.
I think they're trash.
I had to give them trash. I expected more from them this year. All right, cool. Any final thoughts with football and the NFL before we move into the podium?
Final thought. I had
Falcons don't lose.
What?
I said Falcons better not lose to the damn Giants.
Feelings.
That's my final thoughts.
Feelings. Feelings.
I don't know. Nothing to jump.
All right, cool. Let me jump into the podium.
Podium.
What I'm bringing here before the jury today.
Hear ye.
Oh, shit.
Hear ye. Today, we will have defendant Soy from college ITT Tech approaching the podium, who has a 2 years bachelor's in technology and an associate's in technical institute studies. And he's supposed to stand.
Ladies, gentlemen, they, them, there of the jury.
They, them, they're stupid.
I would like to state my claim on something I have been passionate about over the last few weeks. We're going to go into the world of the NBA. This subject has been weighing on my mind, and I am either looking to put it to rest or to believe the hype. My statement to start this is Derrick Rose's MVP year was not as good as people think. Here's why. All right. Yes, that year, he was the only player to be in the top 10 in points and assists, that's amazing. He averaged 25 points a game, which was fourth in the league at the time. 7.7 assists, which was eighth at the time. His stats for that year: 25 points per game, 7 assists, 4.1 rebounds, 44% from the field. I gotta state that is one of the 3 worst percentages by any MVP by 6 or 7%. It is what it is. They were 60, a 62 win team, 60 plus win team, number 1 in the East, number 1 in the NBA, I believe at that time. The Bulls, interesting stat that I found. The Bulls were +6 with Derrick Rose off the court and +8 with him on the court. So a difference of 2 points. 2 points in efficiency with him on and off the court. They were a better defensive team with Derrick Rose off the court per 100 possessions. It is what it is. We don't look at Derrick Rose as an all-world defender. Fine. They went 62-20 that year. Now, the other contenders within that MVP race, we're going to stay in the same season, 2010-2011. Dwight Howard finished number 2 in voting that year. 23 points a game, 60% from the field, 14 rebounds, 2 assists. Defensive player of the year. The Magic finished 4th in the East at 52-30. Dwight Howard, I would go on a limb and say he had a very similar team build to the Bulls. Go out on a limb, give or take here and there. He had Jameer Nelson, J.J. Redick, Hedo Turkoglu, Ryan Anderson. LeBron James was number 3 in voting. Also the same year that he moved from Cleveland Cavaliers with the decision over to the Miami Heat. 27 points per game, 51% from the field, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. They finished 58-24. 2 wins less than the Bulls that year for second in the East. Now, we had a conversation earlier in the year about the most impressive, ranking these 3 the most impressive as far as point guard performances. From Derrick Rose's point guard, being a point guard, getting that MVP that year. Russell Westbrook averaging a triple-double in his MVP year, 31 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Steph Curry, 30 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 50% from the field, 45% from the 3, 90% from the free throw line. He did the 50-40-90, 90-50-40, whatever we want to call it.
So, man.
Now, we also had a conversation about there weren't a lot of point guards doing what he was doing. Hey, gang, what's up, Tua? There was not a lot of point guards doing what Derrick Rose was doing around that era from 2000 all the way up into 2010. So I went back. I looked at some point guard performances. I'm not going to spit any numbers at you unless I absolutely want them. Actually, you know what? I'm going to. 2000, Stephen Marbury, 24, 3, and 7. That same year, Gary Payton, 23, 4, and 8. Gary Payton, 22 in 2001, 22, 5, and 9. Stephen Marbury, 2001, 23 and 8. We'll go through the list to a similar point guard as Derrick Rose. Steve Francis, 21-6-6 in 2001. 21-6-6 on the Houston Rockets team. Gilbert Arenas, 2004, 25-4-5. We could always make the argument about Gilbert Arenas because he said what he said on his podcast, being what he was. 2006, a couple years before Derrick Rose got there, Ben Gordon, 21-3-3. Baron Davis in 2007, a little bit closer to the era of Derrick Rose winning the MVP. Baron Davis, 22-5-7. All whose field goal percentage is a lot more efficient than Derrick Rose's. Had a similar surrounding as far as star players, with being the caliber of a Luol Deng. Chris Paul, 21-4-11 in 2007. 2008, 23-5-5. 2010, the same year that Derrick Rose won the MVP, Russell Westbrook on a KD-led team, 22-5-8. I want to get into a little bit more. That same year in 2010, KD, I believe Derrick Rose was not the best player. He was just on the best team. Derrick Rose was not the best player. He was just on the best team. The Chicago Bulls were second in points per game that year. Second best defense in the NBA that year. That same year, 2010, KD, OKC Warriors finished 55-27 in the Western Conference. We all know what the Western Conference was that year. They finished fourth. KD went 28-7-3. It's the second best player on that team. Obviously, Russell Westbrook, whose numbers I just said, 22-5-8. LeBron on the Miami Heat, 27-7-7, 58-24 for second in the East. Carmelo Anthony in 2010, last year with the Nuggets, 25-7-3. They went 50-32, fifth in the West. The next best player on that team was a washed out Allen Iverson. And then the Dwight Howard numbers I talked about earlier. Now, my biggest reason of saying Derrick Rose was not as good as everyone says he was, I've said this before, I've made this argument. LeBron made the decision, pissed off everyone and their moms in the NBA, went from Cleveland being the media darling to the Heat being the villain. They needed somebody to latch on to. Derrick Rose is probably the most explosive point guard we've seen, aside from Russell Westbrook. The most explosive point guard that we've seen around that time. Everything just landed in perfect scenario for Derrick Rose to win that MVP. Should have been Dwight Howard. I'll argue that. Should have been LeBron James. I'll also argue that. But it wasn't the first time we've seen a point guard like that. Steve Franchise is just as explosive as Derrick Rose is. Baron Davis, just as explosive as Derrick Rose. Same velocity, same volume. Maybe not as crafty or as shifty as Derrick Rose. But back to my original statement, Derrick Rose's MVP year was not as good as people think. I don't think it was as game-changing as people think. I don't think that it evolved anything either. I don't think it evolved the game to change what the point guard is either. That's the end of my argument. That's the end of my statement. Either let me down my sword or validate what I said.
I will go first. Russell now has the second best MVP year, and Rose goes to third. I adjust my statement now. The number that did it for me, specifically, two numbers specifically, I considered Russ in that time. I didn't consider that in the West and what KD did on top of that. So I know KD led the league in scoring, right? And for Russ still to be putting up 22, 5, and 8 right behind that, I don't think I looked at that the way that I should have. The other number that got me too was B Diddy in 07. Because I was like, oh damn, I didn't think he was doing that much in 07. So I didn't think he was doing that in 07. So now that I do consider context a little more, I do see a broader view of everything a little more. and especially of the fact that they weren't that bad of a team with him off the court. I look at Russ in OKC and I go, if Russ isn't on the court, that team is the Bobcats. so, uh, so now I definitely, is gonna make me change my spot. So if we go back to that argument again of who had the most impressive seasons, we've all unanimously decided as point guards it was Curry first. My argument was Rose second and then Russ. Now I'm Russ second and then Rose. So I'll adjust that.
Yeah, I was already on the same boat as you, so you just validated it for me.
One number I didn't throw out there was Monte Ellis, 2010, 24, 4, and 5. And old ass Monte Ellis.
Yeah.
But man, I could down my source successfully now. I love Derrick Rose. Don't get me wrong. For all the people out there that's probably gonna flame me for this, he just wasn't that guy for me. It just fell in a perfect time in a perfect scenario where the NBA was lining up LeBron to be that dude, and he did this.
Yeah.
That was the most stressful preparation I have ever had from last week to today. Looking up everything I have looked up.
Yeah, I gave up 4. I had 5 arguments when I first thought about this, and I worked on all 4 before. And as I was the deeper I got, the more I was like, this is such a stretch. I said it has to be clear cut. I said, because I can't go in there and still be trying to convince myself. Also, you know what I'm saying? I got to go in here and know that what I'm saying is actually going to mean something. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I told y'all, I can argue Cam best MVP season of the 2010s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can argue that. The other ones, I was just sitting there and I was like, this isn't going to work. I was like, maybe I'm not seeing it yet. And so,
I'm glad you posted that Jamal Charles clip in there when you did, because my first argument was running back related. I was going to throw everybody off and bring a running back related argument. And then you posted Jamal Charles clips and I was like, ugh, I can't say anything that I have now.
That was the clip that made me text y'all and ask, is Jamal Charles top 5 talent wise? I saw that clip, I lost it, then I was like, well, let me ask. And then Mookie sends it to me today. I was like, there it goes. Let me send it to y'all. And so I was like, and then when you clearly look at him on film, you're just like, yo, like this is crazy.
He was that guy.
So the argument I was gonna make before you sent that was for CJ2K. I was
in the moment. Listen. In I'm picking CJ2K in the moment back then when we were growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You ask me now, I have a different. You know what I'm saying? I have a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I told y'all that Dave Chappelle statement. He said, "Standing too close to the elephant. Sometimes we got to step back and be able to really look and be like, is this really as good as we thought it was? You know what I'm saying?" And
what made me know Jamal Charles was so nice was, I'll never forget it. Denzel was like, he told me, he was like, yo, Jamal Charles is probably one of the dopest running backs. And I was like, yeah, sure. He's on the Chiefs. And it was like the bummy Chiefs at the time. But then I went and, like, for real. And they played, like, I was watching their game. They were playing the Saints in New Orleans. And I swear to God, he broke them boys off for a 200-yard.
That 85 on the left sideline?
Like, he broke them off something vicious. And I was like, oh, that dude's actually the truth. Like, he's actually like that. And then, because that's who our boy Denzel, he's like, yo, I want to run the ball like Jamal Charles.
That's my brother's favorite player. It's my brother's favorite player. That dude was the let me see if I can find her. That dude was the Kemba Walker for Kansas City. He was the great dude.
Damn.
That team that held everybody together to know Jamal's gonna do something that's gonna make it worth us buying these tickets and showing up.
We're still gonna be here because of Jamal.
Yeah. be here.
Yeah.
And so, like, I remember he tore freak accident ACL on the sideline with Detroit. I remember that mess. And then I remember overlooking him because he got drafted a year or two after that whole Ronnie Bell, Cadillac Williams, Cedric Benson type deal. So I overlooked him because, like, man, we already got Cedric Benson and he ain't, kind of pound out as good as we thought he was. So I kind of just let it go. You know what I'm saying? But, we seen him all the time over here playing. You're just like, and then you go back and you look at the film and you're just like, this dude was clearly just faster and more skillful than everybody on the field, bro.
Yeah,
he is.
He was like that, bro. He was definitely like that.
Really like that.
I feel like he would be what we expect of Derrick Henry if Derrick Henry was actually faster. If he was playing today's league, he would be putting up Derrick Henry numbers.
Hey, Derrick Henry run
way faster.
a 4.49.
Yeah.
Jamal Charles was faster than that, man.
That's why I said that's why I told y'all I feel like if you look at him run, you see Aaron Jones and how he runs. The stride, the ability to get skinny, the quick dime cuts where the speed doesn't change at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I see. Like go relook at that clip and just go relook at like last night's Aaron Jones touchdown on the sweep. And you'll be like, they stride almost the same. They both slip between the guards almost the same and lose no speed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that part right there was just like, that's why I was like, yo, it reminded me of like Aaron Jones now is the person I would give market, but like his numbers was crazy, bro. But I was also like, when dude posted, he was like, well, he only had this many yards on this many attempts. So I was like, yeah, but that's all the attempts he needed because he was fragile, bro.
His average was stupid. He had half the carries and double the yards of the who was the actual running back that year.
God, I'm looking dead at his name too. He was some dude that came from, I think, Chicago. I can't even think of his name, bro.
Ugh, that's how irrelevant he was. All right, man. I'm interested to see if anybody comes to the podium next week or whenever somebody does come back to the podium, because man, that was stressful.
You gotta work to you have to work.
I was not trying to get flamed.
Yeah, you have to work to get through that part because you're like, man, I could sound really, really stupid right now.
That's why I'm glad when you sent that Jamal Charles clip, I was like, ooh, let me go and delete all my running back notes right now.
Yeah,
because everything I got on CJ2K just got replaced by this man. But last segment, we're gonna skip all facts, no feelings this week. We're gonna bring it back next week and have everyone have an all fact, no feeling for the thing. But we're gonna go into gaming real quick. We're gonna keep it on something having to do with us personally, man. Describe yourself using a game character, and why is that your character? No context other than the why. Real quick, 1 or 2 sentences. What game character is you and why?
Crash Bandicoot.
What do you say?
Crash Bandicoot.
I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory for you guys.
Yeah, yep.
What is wild? Like, hey, y'all about to smoke.
Everything y'all are thinking that is watching, it's exactly why he picked Crash Bandicoot.
Gaming character.
You got one, Polly?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Ooh.
So I'm there for the action.
Yeah.
I'm fast as hell, man.
That one's tough.
Man, all right, I gotta go with Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. That's a good game.
She be opening up doors that she know damn well she shouldn't be opening. She open it anyways. She be going places that she know damn well she shouldn't be. She go there. It comes to a situation where, like, if I shut up, this fight will all go away. But I'm a Tomb Raider that mug, and I'm going to open the door and see what's behind the casket, and the fight get worse. My fault. I gotta explore way too much things that should not be explored.
Dang, man, I gotta think. That one's kind of tough.
Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Are we gonna let that sit until next week? We're gonna revisit it. We're gonna let everybody reevaluate kind of, who their game character is. We're gonna give y'all some homework. We'll have y'all come back next week with an explanation. The next gaming question I actually have is, what is your perfect Apex Legend trio? If you could build your own trio with people that you're playing with and they are great at using that character to the T, what would your trio be? We got 18 legends now in Apex Legends with another one on the way in a couple months.
I got Valkyrie, Gibraltar, and Lifeline.
Ooh, what is your thought process with that? That's a hell of a ooh.
I mean, if you lose in a fight, the escapability with Valkyrie, or if you can't really go anywhere, you got Gibraltar's force field shield to heal up.
The one we just won with, see your Lifeline Gibby.
Ooh. Talk to
Because
me.
I forgot that was a platinum rank match.
Yeah.
That wasn't playing. That was a platinum rank match. And we was really in there head first. We took control of the spot. We dominated that spot. Nobody could move us from that spot. And we clutched up how we had to. So.
Yeah, facts. And we could see everybody coming. We had quick revives with the bubble and Lifeline. We didn't have to just worry about Lifeline not going down. Damn, that's tough. What about you, Deuce?
I actually like the one me, you, and was it? I think it was the Mirage, Fuse, Gibby. I think that one.
Oh, yep. We got a dub with that one. Mirage, Fuse, Gibby. Ooh. I gotta go with.
Mirage, Fuse,
It's hard for me to put Caustic back in there because we talked about it before. Caustic just ain't that dude anymore. Nobody's scared of Caustic. Gibby, Lifeline, probably either Seer or Fuse. Because I think
Fuse has been. I seen the way you use Fuse now. Fuse is nasty.
Yeah, I like that Fuse can keep people away. Like usually people push because they're like, I got full shield. I could duck and dodge enough for them not to, impact my push. But if you hit them with that cluster from far away, they're like, oh wait, let me wait for a little bit. Let me not push this just yet.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, that
Ring of Fire.
Oh,
crucial, boy.
And you can use it as a getaway. I know a lot of people use it offensively. I use that mug defensively. I drop that in our path that we running away on and it makes them stop. But the last question having to do with gaming. We're going to stay in the Apex world because that's what we know. We're going to stay where we know. What is your perfect loadout? If you drop it and your perfect guns can be there, obviously everything's level 3, level 4. What are the two guns you using?
The Rampage and R301.
Whoo! Hey, you've been heavy on the Rampage lately.
I got the G7 and the Volt.
G7 and Volt. That's new. That's tough.
And Hemlock.
Flatline and Hemlock? Ooh, that's nasty.
I used to run that.
Yeah.
I think if it's ranked, I gotta go longbow and flatline. There's just something about having a sniper at all times to keep people at distance, which is nice. But all right, man, that's the last question we have for today. We'll be back at it next week. Are there any final thoughts that y'all have going into closing out? Any final thoughts y'all got?
Final thoughts, man. None.
Go Panthers.
Go
get the dub.
Go Pack, go.
Keep ending. Fly, Eagles, fly. Please don't land. October 4th, be ready for our first NBA episode. We're gonna be knocking that out real easy. We're gonna be getting into that heavy. We're gonna go Pack, go. We're gonna get into the NBA pretty heavily going into October 4th. But next week we're gonna be covering week 3. See how it went. Get over picks. We'll see where everybody's at right now. Me and Paula's at the bottom of the Cream City Kickback picks. So we're gonna be spinning that wheel right now. October 6th? Oh yeah, you're right. On a Wednesday. October 6th. We'll be back next week for the NFL episode. then we're gonna talk a little bit more about the ESPN top 100 list that Kobe Bryant never liked because it was whack.
Yep.
Sneak peek, they already got Cade at 75. So dumb. So dumb. So
We'll definitely do our
But all right, y'all. That's it for today. We'll see y'all next week. Tap in with us.
Next
Tell your
week.
friends, tell your mamas, tell your sisters, tell your cousins, tell your brothers, tell everybody. We out.
I lagged.
I lagged.
Yeah.